Okay, very good morning to everybody. Welcome to this session on Python programming. Okay, I am Dr. Tyagaraja J.S., Professor and HOD, Department of Computer Science Engineering. Okay, today in this session, I will be covering the different topics like introduction to Python programming, what is the syntax, what is the meaning of syntax of Python programming, comments means what, and basics of data types, along with some quizzes and some sample programs also we will discuss. Yeah, first of all, these are three main important contents that we are going to discuss. One is introduction to Python, data types of Python, and syntax of Python. Okay, then see, Python is one of the programming languages. What is language actually? What is the meaning of language? Language andre ಏನು? Okay, what is the necessary of language? Okay, language we usually the human being will use language to communicate between the two persons. Okay, that is one person to the other person. Okay, like this. And similarly, in the computer world, language is used mainly to transmit the data or communicate the informations from one machines to another machines, and also from one human being to the machines. That means I have to tell something to the computer. Okay, in order to tell something, and computer has to understand that whatever I tell, for that I need a different language. I cannot use like English, okay, or like Kannada, Tulu, Hindi, like this. I need some different language where I can uh, communicate the information to the computer. Computer cannot understand all the languages. Okay, it can understand its own language. Basically, it can understand a language called machine language. Okay, machine language. But problem with machine language is human being cannot understand the machine language. ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಒಂದು ಸೊನ್ನೆ 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 ಒಂದು ಈ ರೀತಿ ಬರೀ ಒಂದು ಸೊನ್ನೆ ಎರಡೇ ಆಲ್ಫಾಬೆಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಈ ನಾವು ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪಲ್ ಆಲ್ಫಾಬೆಟ್ಸ್ A to Z. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲೂ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪಲ್ ಆಲ್ಫಾಬೆಟ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಹಿಂದಿಲೂ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ವಿಲ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಎ ವರ್ಡ್ ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎ ಗ್ರಾಮರ್. Problem with this machine language is only two alphabets, 1 and 0, and we have to represent all type of words, sentences, using these ones and zero, and it can be understood only by the electronic gadgets. Electronic gadgets are digital devices, like computer, okay, or even any other electronic devices. So they will store the data in the form of ones and zero, and they understand everything in the forms of ones and zero only. Okay, but we cannot always write or communicate or speak in terms of ones and zeros. We speak in English, we speak in Kannada, we speak in some other natural spoken languages. Okay, now the what is the way how to interact with the computer? Okay, therefore, computer we can interact with the computer with the like languages. We call it as programming languages. ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ನಾವು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಬರಿತೀವಿ. ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಇಂಟು ಎ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಝೀರೋ. ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ನನಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಈಗ ಸಿ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್, ಈಗ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜಸ್ ಆಲ್ ದಿಸ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಫಾರ್ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಬಿಂಗ್, ನಾಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಮೆಷಿನ್. ಸಿ ಆಯಿತು, C++ ಆಯಿತು, ಜಾವಾ, ಓಕೆ, ಲೈಕ್ ಎನಿ ಅದರ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮಿಂಗ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜಸ್, human being will write the instructions in that language, and there will be a compiler. The back end of each and every language, there will be a compiler, and that compiler will compile, and it will transmit. Compiler role ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, whatever the language that we have written in C or C++, that will be translated into a machine language. Okay, machine language translate ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Therefore, in order to talk with computer, in order to talk with any electrical gadgets, I have to write a program. Okay, In order to write a program, we have got different programming languages, which comes under basically two types, like object oriented programming language and structured oriented programming language. ಇದೇನಿದು ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಓರಿಯೆಂಟೆಡ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮಿಂಗ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಡ್ ಓರಿಯೆಂಟೆಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಸಿ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ರೀತಿಯಾದ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ದೆರ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಕಾಮನ್ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್, ಲೈಕ್ ಬಿಗಿನಿಂಗ್ ದೆರ್ ಬಿ ಹೆಡರ್ ಫೈಲ್ಸ್, global variable declarations, followed by like main function. Inside that main function, like open curly brace and close curly brace, and there will be a declaration of variables and programming statements ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಥರ ಒಂದು ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಡ್ will be followed for C programming language. But what about this object-oriented programming language? Object-oriented programming language actually represents the real-time entity. Now, real world ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಇದೆ, ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಮನೆ, if you take one house, there will be a house. Inside the house, there will be a room, different types of rooms. If it is a 3-floor house, there will be a ground floor, first floor, second floor, and there will be different partitions of these floors. Okay, and each and every partitions will be represented in terms of objects. That means we can map directly the real world entities in the form of a two concept called class and object. The class of the class means actually it represent a design or sketch. If you take a house, the sketch of the house that is written on the plain paper itself is called class. But what is the use of that sketch? Sketch is not a simple ordinary drawing. Okay, a class is when the sketch becomes a class, actually it represents a template or model of the house. Okay, then using that sketch, a house, n number of similar type of houses can be built. Okay, the n number of houses that is already constructed by using a class or sketch, we call it as object. In other words, objects are instance of class. Class ಒಂದಿದ್ರೆ we can have like infinite number of objects under the same class, like animal class. Human being also one class. Under the human being, we can have a different types of objects. Okay, like person is a class. Person may be a student, he may be an employee, may be a farmer. Okay, like this different versions of the person will be there, but all are nothing but they are person. Okay, today we will call it a public becomes a class, but what is object? Object may be a person. Okay, like this is the basic difference between structured and object oriented. It means that in object oriented programming language, it actually maps the real world items in terms of programming, in terms of class and objects. Okay, now Python, what is actually how it is different from the other programming language? Python is an object oriented programming language. First of all, we call even C++, and even C# also, Java also, JavaScript also, like these are all called like high level programming language. Why it is called high level? There are two types of level, like high level and low level programming language. High level is one which designers or human beings can understand and write the program or code the program. Okay, that is a language which can be understood by the human being. That's why we call it as high level. Low level programming language is not understandable by the human being, but it can be understood by the machine, because it will be written only in ones and zeros. That is the basic difference between low level and high level programming language. Python is not a low level programming language, it is a high level programming language. Okay, another one is Python is very popular nowadays. Okay, if you compare C++, I think yesterday I was just searching in the Google what is the top 20 programming languages, like top 100 programming languages in. There are one thing you have to remember, there are more than 4,000 programming languages till date, and regularly there will be a new programming language. All the languages are not known to everybody, just like in natural languages. There are so many thousands of natural languages, spoken languages are available in the human mind, but it is not understood by each and every persons. If you take me, I know only three languages. There are out of so many thousand languages, I know only three languages. Like that, if you ask any individuals, hardly they may know up to 1 to 10 programming languages on an average, like this. Similarly, here in the computer world, okay, all the languages are not actually that means used by all the peoples. There are different some companies they will develop their own programming language for the security purpose, and they don't even teach that programming languages to the outside world. Okay, they will use only for their own companies, okay, for doing business or maintaining a data or anything. They will just use that language, and it is limited to that organization only. Okay, like that, so many such thousands of programming languages are there. For example, if you take Google, earlier it was using Python. When Google was using Python as an official language, it was actually not known to many peoples. Now Python language is known to many other. Okay, okay, almost more number of peoples in the world use the like Python programming language. Okay, now Google is already developing its own programming language called Go, and is already utilizing, okay, in the as an official programming language. Okay, Python is nowadays popular because it is used in almost all the field. Like it is used in like medical field, okay, even in statistics field, in research, okay, in almost all the engineering applications, particularly for data analysis, data science, data visualization, artificial intelligence. Even for quantum computing, you can utilize Python. For basic mathematical calculations, like so on, you can use Python. Python is a popular language because it is used by more number of developers and more number of learners. Learner and developers. If you count that together, the number of learner and developers is more, particularly for Python. Okay, and who created this Python? Okay, who created this Python? Guido van Rossum. Okay, Guido van Rossum is a like a mathematician. He is a mathematician, and now as he has his own company, software company. Okay, and he is a CEO of one such a software company. Okay, now he was doing like master degree project. At that time, he was in the need of a new programming language, and he was working on that project. And finally, he come out with the innovative Python programming language. However, when he invented that in 1991, Guido when invented this Python and designed that Python, it was very small language. Okay, and it was used for with some minimum features. Since the community, that is every year, the people who are using Python started to contribute more and more libraries to the Python. As a result, nowadays Python has become more versatile language, and it is a popular language. Okay, Python is a popular language, and it was created by Guido van Rossum in 1991. And some of the features of Python, like Python is a open source. Okay, it is open source in the sense you can download, you can go to the like a python.com and download the Python for Windows, Python for Linux, Python for Mac operating system. Like this, you can download and install freely without paying any amount. Okay, directly you can download and install it and start to work on that. Okay, there are certain language which is not available like that, and they you need to pay certain amount of money. Okay, and that is our first one. It is a open source, simple and easy to learn, and it is very simple as compared to C programming language or C++ or Java, because C++ and Java are like a more uh, like more complex in terms of grammar and syntax as compared to Python. Python is almost very near to English programming language. Okay, as a result, it has become now simple and easy. and even schools children will start to learn Python very easily. Okay, in the NCRT syllabus it is already incorporated in that class 8 level itself. Okay, then it is wide range of libraries. Okay, it has got a rich set of library. Library means what? For example, if you want to write a Python to solve some mathematical related problems, then it has got its own mathematical library. If you want to use Python for developing a web applications, it has got its own web application libraries. If you want to develop a like artificial intelligence applications or mobile applications, you have got the respective customized libraries for different fields. For civil engineering, set of libraries are there. For mechanical engineering, set of libraries are there. Or similarly, for different domain, even for economics, it has got its own separate library. Statistics, it has got library. That's why we call it has got a wide range of libraries and easy integration. If you know already C or C++ or any other languages, you can integrate and develop application using Python. Okay, that is a very like effective, impactful feature of the Python. Another one, as already told, it is an object-oriented programming language. These are the Python features. Some of the Python features I have mentioned here. I am not completely putting all the features here. Very important features like open source, simple and easy to learn. It has got wide range of libraries, easy integrations, object-oriented programming language. Okay, now I will go to someone quiz like a question here. I will ask question, simple question to you all based on the previous slide. Okay, this is a some summary I will tell. Like Python is popular, it's a high-level programming language. Guido van Rossum invented and released in 1991. Okay, and it has got like features like open source, simple and easy, wide range of libraries, easy integration, object-oriented programming language. Now, it's very simple questions. Okay, already everybody know that you can put the answer in your chat box. Who is the creator of the Python programming language? Okay, who is the creator of Python programming language? It is or answers are there here, like James
Guido van
Sling, Dennis Ritchie. You can just put that. Okay, like Guido and Rosa. Yes, B. B is the answer. Okay, most of the students are answering this question. Okay, Guido van Rossum, a mathematician who designed a Python programming language,
P.
particularly to solve the mathematical problems. Initially, it was written for solution of mathematical problems. At the same time, artificial intelligence came into the industry. Artificial intelligence was in need of a programming language which supported mathematics. Okay, since Python was supporting mathematics and it becomes more popular at that time, even now it is the most popular language for solving the artificial intelligence and data science application along with Java and JavaScript. Even Java and JavaScript will have the same. They are already in top three. If you take top three programming languages every year, uh, these three will be there. One is Python, Java, and JavaScript. One will be above the other. Okay, in the previous year, Python was there. Now, recently, Java once again top. JavaScript is in third place. Next year, there will be a shuffling. Okay, but all three is in the demand because the number of companies and developers who are using Python is more nowadays. Okay, now Guido and Rosam is the answer. Answer is B. I will go for the next topic like data types of Python. What is data types? Data types. Data means what? It is a raw fact. It represents the raw fact. ಈಗ temperature ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆಯಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ 23.6 degrees Celsius ಅಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀವಿ. Okay, 23 approximately normal temperature like 24 degrees Celsius ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. Okay, then that is called like data. I will just tell 23.46, that will represent a data. Then I will ask what is date today. I'll tell 9th August 2023. It is also one type of data. I will ask your name. What is your name? You will tell like Sushil. My name is Sushil. Okay. Sushil is also a data. What you are studying? I am studying diploma in mechanical engineering. That is also another data. Like this, you can observe that I will ask a name, you will tell Sushil. What is the type of the data there? Type of the data means it is made up of character like yes, you, like this, Sushil. Okay, all the alphabets is it is made up of English alphabets or any Kannada alphabets or like that. Okay, uh, that is said one type of data. We call it as like set of characters. Sushil is a set of characters or set of alphabets. Okay, and that set of alphabets we call it as strings. String anta ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. string ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. Okay, that is called like ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಡೇಟಾ. ಸುಶೀಲ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ಡೇಟಾ. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಡೇಟಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಸೆಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್. ಆ ಸೆಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ನ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಸಾರಿ ಇನ್ ದ ಪೈಥಾನಲ್ಲಿ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್. ಸಿಮಿಲರ್ಲಿ ನಿಂದು ಏಜ್ ಎಷ್ಟಪ್ಪ? ನನಗೆ ಈಗ 49 ವರ್ಷ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ. 49 ಅಲ್ಲಿ 49 ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಂಬರ್ಸ್. ಅದು 49 ಅನ್ನೋದು ಡೇಟಾ. ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಆಫ್ ಏಜ್ ಆಫ್ ಒನ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ and it is like 49. But what is that 49? Type of 49. Type of 49 is number. ಅದು ನಂಬರ್ ಅದು. Okay. And like that we can have a different data types. Age equal to 45 ಅಂತ ಬರೀತೀನಿ. ಏಜ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು 45 ಅಂತ. 45 ಅನ್ನೋದು ಡೇಟಾ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಡೇಟಾ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದ್ರ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಅದು ನಂಬರ್ ಅಥವಾ ಇಂಟೀಜರ್ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ಇಂಟೀಜರ್ ಬೇಕಾ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು? ಈಗ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ನಿಂದು ತೂಕ ಎಷ್ಟಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ. What is your weight? Your person will tell my weight is 64.5 kg. ಅಲ್ಲಿ 64.5 ಬಂತು. ಏಜ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿತ್ತು? 49 ಇಯರ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಇದು 64.5 ಅಂತ. That means there is a difference between the type of data. Earlier it was just a 4 and 9. Okay, it is a number and it is an integer number. We call it as an integer. It is a whole number. ನಾವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ 64.5 kg 64.5 ಅಂತ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? ಅದು ರಿಯಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಇಟ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ ಎ ಫ್ಲೋಟಿಂಗ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಂತೀವಿ ನಾವು? ಫ್ಲೋಟಿಂಗ್ ಡೇಟಾ ಟೈಪ್ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ಫ್ಲೋಟಿಂಗ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್, ಇಂಟಿಜರ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್, ಫ್ಲೋಟಿಂಗ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಈಗ 64.5 kg ಅಂದೆ. ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ಬಂದು ಯಾವುದೋ 640 kg ಇತ್ತು. ಈಸ್ ಎ ವೆರಿ ಹೆವಿಯೆಸ್ಟ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಲೈಕ್ ಸಮ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೀಸ್. ಅವನದು ವೇಟ್ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ 640.5 ಇದೆ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಏನಾಯ್ತು? 64 ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಇದ್ದಿದ್ದು ಈಗ 640 ಮೇಲೆ ಹೋಯ್ತು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಆ ಕಡೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕಡಿಮೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಹಿಂಗೆಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತದೆ, ಫ್ಲೋ ಆಗ್ತಿರ್ತದೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಫ್ಲೋಟಿಂಗ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಫ್ಲೋಟಿಂಗ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಒನ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಟು ದ ಅನದರ್ ನಂಬರ್. Like that, based on the data, each and every data can be categorized into different types. Okay, that specify the type of the value. Okay, Python ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪೈಥಾನ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಿ ಇನ್ ಪೈಥಾನ್. ಸಿ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಡೈನಮಿಕಲಿ ಟೈಪ್ಡ್. ಅದಾಗಲೇ ಪ್ರೀ ಡಿಫೈನ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ನೀವು ಇಂಟಿಜರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಬರೆದು ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಇಂಟಿಜರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್, ಫ್ಲೋಟ್ ಅಂತ ಬರೆದು ವೈ, ಈ ತರ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. That is like statically typed. But Python is not like that. If you give whatever the number, based on that number, type of the variable will be decided. Type of the variable will change. Okay, now we'll take first, before going to examples, we'll just classify ಎಷ್ಟು types ಇದೆಯಪ್ಪ Python ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ. Okay, like basically it has got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 types ಇದೆ ಇದು. 5 types. ಓಕೆ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಟಿಜರ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಂಟಿಜರ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ನಂಬರ್, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇರಲ್ಲ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನಂಬರ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಕೌಂಟಿಂಗ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ 0 to 9. ಫ್ರಮ್ 0 to 9 ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ದೇರ್. ಓಕೆ, ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ದೇರ್, ಡೆಸಿಮಲ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. 1.0 ಅಂತ ಬರಲ್ಲ, ಅದು 1 ಅಂತಾನೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. 1.5 ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ, ಮತ್ತೆ 1 ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಡೆಸಿಮಲ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಇಯರ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಟಿಜರ್. ಬೂಲಿಯನ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ಗೂ ಇಂಟಿಜರ್ಗೂ ಏನು ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಏನಪ್ಪ, ಇಂಟಿಜರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎನಿ ನಂಬರ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. It may have any number from 0 to 9, but Boolean ನಲ್ಲಿ only two values ಇರುತ್ತೆ, 0 and 1. Here instead of 0 and 1, we will use like 1 means true, true, true. 0 means it is false. Floating point numbers ಅಂದ್ರೆ 2.345, 26.78, 97.01. These are called floating point numbers. Then complex numbers. Complex number andre ಏನು? See, any number which has got a two parts. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ನಂಬರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡು ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಇರಬೇಕು. One part we call it as real part and another part is called imaginary part. Real part plus imaginary part. ಇವೆರಡು ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾದದ್ದು ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನರಿ ಪಾರ್ಟ್. ಇಮ್ಯಾಜಿನರಿ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ದೇರ್. Okay, and that is called complex number. Complex numbers. Now we'll go for like a sequences. Sequences ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂಥರ ಕಲೆಕ್ಷನ್. ಇಟ್ ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಎಸ್ ಅ ಕಲೆಕ್ಷನ್. ಈಗ ಅರೇಸ್, ಸಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅರೇಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸಸ್ ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಸೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸಸ್. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಮೂರು ವಿಧದ ಸೀಕ್ವೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ಸ್, another one is like list, and another one is like tuples. Okay, these are all different types of sequences. Strings na we will use a quotes. Quote and double quote, single quote irutte. Okay, in the beginning you will have quotes and end also there will be quotes. That is called strings. And list and square bracket, we are using a square bracket. Beginning of the collection there will be a one bracket, end of the collection there will be another bracket. Tuples andre small bracket use ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Okay, small brackets. First one is strings. Strings ಅಲ್ಲಿ quotes we will be using quotes. Okay, another one is like a list. Okay, I can just okay, fine. Okay, strings, list and tuples. Strings, list and tuples. Okay, we'll take example, then we will understand in detail. Now let list only the different data types available in Python. First one is numbers, second one is sequences, and third one is sets. Sets means it is just like a mathematical set. It's a collection of elements which are written within the two curly braces, flower bracket and then if you write within the flower bracket, we call it as sets. Okay, then none anta one data type ಇದೆ. None means if it does not belongs to any other, like it is neither numbers, it is not a sequences, it is neither sets or mappings. In such cases we call it as none. ಮ್ಯಾಪಿಂಗ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಡೇಟಾ ಟೈಪ್. ಮ್ಯಾಪಿಂಗ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಟೂ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಒಂದು ಕೀ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಈಗ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ನೇಮ್ ಅಂತ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ನೇಮ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕೀ. ಅದ್ರ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ, ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ನೇಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್? ನೇಮ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಇಸ್ ರಾಹುಲ್. ಈ ರಾಹುಲ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ, ನೇಮ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಕೀ. ಈ ತರ ಟೂ there is a mapping between the key and value. We call it as a mapping between key and value. There is a mapping between each and every key. I cannot write like name as 1 2 3. Name ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು specific value ಇರುತ್ತೆ. Name is not 1 2 3, but I can say that name is Rahul, like this. Okay, and that is called we call dictionaries. ಈ dictionaries ಅಲ್ಲಿ we will have a like index. ಓಕೆ, ಇಂಡೆಕ್ಸ್ ನೋಡಿಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಪೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನು ವರ್ಡ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ದಟ್ ಇಂಡೆಕ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಕ್ಯೂ ಅಂಡ್ ದ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಇಂಡೆಕ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಇಟ್ಸೆಲ್ಫ್, ಕೀ ಅಂಡ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ. ಹಿಯರ್ ನಾವು ಈಗ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ತಗೋಣ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸೀರಿಯಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ನ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಸೀರಿಯಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಇಂಟಿಜರ್. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಒಂದು 5, ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ 5 is an integer, 20 is an integer. Okay, and 254 is an integer. 5 is an integer, 20 is an integer, 3000 is an integer, 254 integer. ಇವೆಲ್ಲವೂ ಇಂಟಿಜರ್ಸ್. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಅವು ಡಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎನಿ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್. Okay, they don't have any point. After 5 or before 5 there is no point. 20 is just a number. Okay, 3000 is a number. 254 is also a number. Now we'll go for like floating point. Okay, float andre ಏನು float. Float you can observe that ಈ ಕಡೆ 2.5 ಇದೆ, 2.5, then 0.245, 1.2789. All this number they use as a decimal point. Okay, like fractions, they represent the fractions of a number. Okay, therefore they are called floating point. ಈ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಮೂವ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರ್ತದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ 2.2 ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಬಂತು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ 2ಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನು 0.245, 1.2789. Okay, like this you will get a floating point. Okay, or in mathematical terms we call it as real numbers. Real numbers. Complex number will be made up of two parts, like 1 plus 2j. 2j another 2 into j ado. 7j means it is like 7 into j. It's a product of 2 into j. Here j represent like square root of -1. It is called like imaginary number. Okay, complex numbers are made up of two parts, like one is the real part plus 2 is the imaginary part. If you take the second number, what is the real part? Real part alilla. Okay, it does not have any real part, but it has got only imaginary part called 7. But if there is no real part, we will represent that part as 0. Okay, you have to represent it as 0. 0 means nothing here. Okay, there is no real part. Then we'll go to bool. Bool data type is bool, and it has got only two values like true and false. Then strings. Okay, we'll go to strings like A, B, C. Already told strings. So quotes in the start agat, either single quote or double quote or triple quote. Like single quote like A, B, C. Within the double quote, I have written A, B, C. New SDM anta inno string ide. It is written within the single quotes. And SDM IT, it is also written within the quote, but triple double quotes. Either you can use triple single quotes or triple double quotes. I have used here triple double quotes. That means whether it is single, double or triple, it is between the quotes only. ABC is between the quotes, SDM is between the quotes, SDM IT is between the quotes. Now next data type list. List another, it will be represented within the square bracket. There is a one list called languages. Languages ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ 3 ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಇದೆ. ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಿಫ್ಟ್, ಜಾವಾ, ಪೈಥಾನ್. ಓಕೆ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜಸ್. ನೀವು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಬನ್ನಿ. ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ a list. X is also a list, and it is equal to 1, 2, 3. Okay, x equal to 1, 2, 3. 3 integers. It is made up of 3 integers. All 3 integers are written within the square bracket. ಎಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಿ square brackets use ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತೀವೋ, we call that type of collections as list. Whenever you are using a quotes, we call it as string. And if you come to the another example again, list ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು x1 ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. x1 equal to ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ is 2. Second element, you can observe that there is another list inside the another list. Okay, that is another list, say 1 comma SDM. 1 comma SDM ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು list may be inside the list. We call it as nested list. These are some examples of list data type. You know, on data node, you can easily identify, is it an integer, is it a float, is it a complex number, is it a bool, a string. Like this you can easily identify now. List andre hengirutte. Now tuples list you can just see that difference is only a brackets. List ali will be using a square brackets. Tuples we are using a small brackets. Small brackets are there, yeah, small brackets. Okay, and these small brackets represent the tuple. Like product equal to Microsoft, this first product tuple is made up of like 3 elements, 1, 2, 3. Microsoft Xbox 499.99, comma x is equal to 1 comma 2 comma 3, 1 comma 2 comma 3. Microsoft Xbox 499.99, x equal to 1 2 3. Then dictionaries cc equal to dictionaries dictionaries ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ಡೇಟಾ. ಅದರದ್ದು ಓಪನಿಂಗ್ ಬ್ರಾಕೆಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಕರ್ಲಿ ಬ್ರಾಕೆಟ್, ವಿಲ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಕರ್ಲಿ ಬ್ರಾಕೆಟ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. And ending also closing curly brackets be used. Within that we have got key and value. Here key is Nepal is key, colon Kathmandu. Capital of Nepal is Kathmandu. That is the one item, we call it as one item, and each item is made up of two parts. One is key and another one is value. ಈಗ ನೇಪಾಲ್ ಕಠಮಂಡು ಒಂದು ಐಟಮ್, ಇಟಲಿ and Rome another item, India and Delhi another item. There are three items or elements here, and each element is made up of two parts. ಒಂದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಕೀ ಅಂತೀವಿ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದಕ್ಕೆ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ. ನೇಪಾಲ್ ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಠಮಂಡು is value, Italy is key, Rome is value, India is key, Delhi is value. ಇವನ್ ಈಗ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಬರೆದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನೇಮ್ ಕೋಲನ್ ರಾಹುಲ್, ಯು ಎಸ್ ಎನ್ ಬರೀತೀನಿ, ರೋಲ್ ನಂಬರ್ 123, ಈ ಥರ ಬರೀಬೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ನೇಮ್ ಕೀ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಲೈಕ್ ರಾಹುಲ್, and similarly another element say roll number, and its value is like 123. And even you can have like marks, age, you can go on adding them. Then next data type is like sets. Sets means student ID. You can see that it is just a collection of elements. Okay, it is a set, and sets ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ all the elements are unique. There is no repetition of elements will not be there. You suppose you will write like 112 comma 112, then it will take it as 112 only one time it will take. 114 it will take only one value at a time. That means it will be unique, and it is unordered. It does not have any order here. Okay, and none means if it does not belongs to any of these 9 data types, we usually call it as none, and it is nothing, it means nothing here. Now this is another example. Suppose I want to know the data type. Okay, I want to know the data type of any variable. You can use like x1 equal to 20. X1 is called variable. Left side al now no variable value ಬರ್ತಿದೀವ, that itself is called like variable. Variable x1 is equal to 20. And 20 ಅನ್ನೋದು value. x1 means it is the name of the variable. But I want to know what is the data type of x1. ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಬಟ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಿದೆಯೋ ಇಲ್ಲೋ ಅನ್ನೋದಕ್ಕೆ we can use a instruction command like a type of x1. Type of x1 ಅನ್ನೋದು 20 ಇದೆ. Okay, therefore it will print say class int. x2 equal to 1.245, it's a floating point number. We know that. Print a type of x2. Okay, then class float. Then x3 equal to sdmit. X3 equal to sdmit ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್, ಅದು ನಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ because it is written within the double quote. Then if you print like sdmit type of x3, it will give string. Similarly, x4 equal to 1 comma 2 comma sdmit. x4 equal to 1 comma 2 comma sdmit. Here 3 elements ಇದೆ, but all these are written within the square brackets. Then it is a list. x5 is a tuple because we have used here like 1 2 3. x6 is a dictionary because I have used here curly braces, and each and every element is made up of two parts. One is key and value, like name is Rahul, age is 21. Two elements are there. And the next one is like a set, x7 equal to 1 comma 2 comma xy. You can observe that x6 and x7, they will use same type of bracket like curly brackets, but in the case of dictionary, it will have each and every element will have two types, two parts or two components, that is key and value. But in sets we don't have such type of components, so we just a unique element, individual element will be there. Okay, therefore it is called like set. Okay, now x8 equal to true or false. x8 equal to true or false. Print type of x8. Okay, then class bool. As already told, there is a one type of data that is Boolean data, and it has got only two values, that is 0 and 1. Or here in Python, we don't use 0 and 1. We use true or false. 0 means false, 1 means true. And the complex number is like it has got a two part, real part and imaginary part. Imaginary part is always mandatory. Imaginary part, for example, if x9 if I write equal to 2, then if you type of x9, it will show int. If you use only x9 is equal to 3j, you eliminate 2, then it will print type of x9 means it will print complex. Okay, imaginary part is mandatory, real part is optional. Okay, here in this example, we have got both real part as well as imaginary part. Then x10 equal to none. It is neither like integer, nor float, nor string, nor list, nor tuple, nor dictionary, nor set, nor boolean. It is neither even complex also. Therefore, it is a none. And it is represented. It has got only one value, that is called none. Data type is also none. Value is also none for that. Okay. Now this is about like data type, basics of data type. Okay, these are the different data type. This is the top. I have written one example how to know the data type. Like x is equal to 5. I want to know what is the data type of x. Then use print type of x. You will get a value, say class int, just like in the here class int you will get. And other data types like float, complex, boolean, strings, list, tuples, dictionary, sets, none. You have to remember these things. I think it is easy to remember all the thing. Integer, you are already familiar. Floating point number, you are already familiar. Complex number also you already studied in mathematics. Boolean, you must, I think you already learnt about basics of electronics. Strings, okay, here ABC, if you already gone through C programming, it will be there ABC, SDM, SDMIT, like this. Least and the square bracket, you have to remember least and the square bracket. Tuples and the small bracket. Dictionaries and the curly bracket with key and values. Key and values. And sets, okay, then sets and the curly brace. It does not have any key value. All the elements are individual elements only. Then none. Okay, then show the example here. Then we'll go to one small quiz. Which of the following is not a data type in Python? Whatever the topic that I've discussed now, from basically you have to tell that from that which one of the following is not a data type in Python. You have to just tell the answer in chat box. Is it A, B, C, or D?
D.
D. Okay, D. The answer is D because matrix is an it comes under list. You can use list to represent the matrix. Matrix we have not studied as a type of data. Mappings is a data because dictionary comes under mappings. Sequence, strings, list, tuples, number under integer, float to complex. Matrix is a like arrangement of the elements in rows and columns. It is just an arrangement of the uh, rows and column values in terms of rows and columns. It is just is not a data type. Therefore, the answer is D. Matrix is not a data type in Python. There may be any other language which may take a matrix as a, but we're not aware about all the languages. Okay, particularly in Python. In the next question, we have got like this: x is equal to 10.45. X equal to 10.45 and y equal to 2 plus 3j. X ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೆನ್ಪಿಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು 10.45 ಇದೆ, y equal to 2 plus 3j ಇದೆ. Then what is the value of type of x? Type of x ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ? Type of y ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ? ಅಂದ್ರೆ output, if you go and type this program in the Python interpreter, you will get what is type of x, type of y, and the answers are out of this only: A, B, C, and D. You have to just identify any one answer. What is the value of type of x, type of y, Yes, most of the students are okay. Almost all the students are answering correctly. That is the answer is C,
See,
because X is 10.45. It is a floating point. It belongs to the class called float. Okay. Then next one is like class complex. Okay, class complex because y equal to 2 plus 3j, and it has got real part and imaginary part, and therefore the answer is C. Okay, now we'll go to move on to the next topic, Python syntax. What is this syntax? Syntax ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? Okay, Python ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮಿಂಗ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್. ಕನ್ನಡ ಆಗಲಿ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ ಆಗಲಿ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಮಾತಾಡೋ ಭಾಷೆ ಆಗಲಿ, ನಾವು ಯಾವಾಗ ಬರೆಯೋಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವೋ ಆವಾಗ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಸಿಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ನ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸಿಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಗ್ರಾಮರ್ನ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಆ್ಯಸ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಕಂಟೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಪರ್ ದ ಗಿವನ್ ಗ್ರಾಮರ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಸಿಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮಿಂಗ್ ಈಚ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮಿಂಗ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗಾಟ್ ದೇರ್ ಒನ್ ಸಿಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗಾಟ್ ದೇರ್ ಓನ್ ಸಿಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್. ಸಿ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಸಿಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಪೈಥಾನ್ಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಸಿಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗಾಟ್ ದೇರ್ ಓನ್ ಗ್ರಾಮರ್ಸ್. ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಗ್ರಾಮರ್ ಇಸ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕನ್ನಡ ಗ್ರಾಮರ್ ಇಸ್ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್. Okay, but grammar remains same. What the intention of grammar remains same. Okay, intention of grammar remains same. But when you study the grammar of different languages, you feel that there is a lot of differences between the syntax of like English language, syntax of Kannada language. Okay, like that here, C, if you take C, it has got different syntax because it is a structured oriented programming. And in like a Java, Python, they have got their own syntax. Okay, even Java and Python, they are all object oriented. Basically, they come under object oriented programming language only. Syntax there also changes. Okay, syntax is because for Python, creator is different. Python is created by one person and Java is created by another person. They have designed their own grammars and rules for Python. Okay, and Java. Okay, they are the independent languages. They have been designed separately. As a result, they have got their own grammar. Okay. Okay, then Python, grammar syntax is just like a way of how to write a program. It's a way to write a programs. Python has a clean and readable syntax that contributes to its ease of use and popularity. It is very easy, readable. It has got readable syntax. Here are some fundamental aspects of Python. We will take one by one. Before going that, I will just take one program here. Okay, 1 minute. I will take. Okay, syntax means how to write a program that is particularly error-free programming. Once we write a program, it must not show any error. You must get an for all the input. You must get an output. If you are getting that, then it is syntactically correct program. Then you'll take one sample Python program. ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಬರೀಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಈಗ ಸಿ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಗೆ ಹೋದರೆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಇರಲ್ಲ, ಒಂದು ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ you can just write like a on common English sentences here. Here I have used first one here. It is a simple program. Like if I use hash comment ಅಂತ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Can you tell me what is the comment used in C program, symbol used for commenting the lines? For
double
writing
slash, forward slash.
forward slash star and star forward slash ಈ ತರ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, Here hash is used, therefore that line is importance of that line is it is describing what I am going to write in the next line. Okay, get the input from the user. I want to get an input from the user. Basically this program is doing intention of this program is to read the two numbers and find the sum of the number. Okay, therefore, first part is I have to read a number. That is a floating point number. Okay, here one statement I have used get input from the user, and it is commented here. Therefore, it is not executed. Whichever the line that is not using hash symbol, they are the actual piece of code, remaining only a comments. Okay, now first piece of code, first line of code is num1. Num1 equal to, like I have written float. Within that there is a one function called input, and within that we'll use a like statement called enter the first number. ಸಿ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಎಫ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸ್ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಎಫ್ ಅಂತ ಎರಡು ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಇದೆ. ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಎಫ್ ಏನು ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ, ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಥ್ರೋ ಅನ್ ಮೆಸೇಜ್. It will throw a message on the screen, enter the first number, printf enter the first number ಅಂತ ಬರೀತೀನಿ. Then it will throw a message called enter the first number, and that first number will be you have to enter that first number. Now through keyboard only we have to enter. That will be scanned using scanf statement. But here both the operations will be done by one single function called input. Both printf and scanf ಎರಡೂ ಒಂದೇ function use ಮಾಡಿ we can write the code. Instead of writing a two different lines, we can just write input enter the first number. Illi now we are going to find the sum of two floating point number ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ we in front of that input function we have to write float. If you want to read an integer number, you have to use int. Okay, like this. If you don't use anything, by default value ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, stream of characters ಅಥವಾ string ಗೆ there is no need to write like string. Okay, only for floating point number or integer number or complex number, in such cases you have to use the specific keyword. Enter the first number. Input ಅಂತ ಬರೀಲೇಬೇಕು. Input open small bracket. Within the double quote you have to specify any message that you want to write. Here I want to write that enter the first number. Therefore I have written like this. Okay, num2 equal to, that is all, second number is also a floating point number, and enter the second number I have written. Okay, then after reading the value, after executing these two lines, when you enter a number, say 10 and 20, it will read and store it in a variable called num1 and num2. Then I have to find the sum. You can take another variable called sum of numbers equal to num1 plus num2. Okay, now this is the input and processing statements. Now you have taken the input here. For example, it will throw a message, enter the first number. I will enter the first number, say like 23, and second number I will enter the value, say 34, 34. Okay, now num1 has become like num1 is 23, and num2 has become like 34. Now two values are available now after executing the first two statements. Then sum of numbers will be computed. Sum of numbers is equal to, it will become 23 plus 34, 2 plus 3, 5, 7. You will get a result, say 5, 7. It is not like since we have, even though I have entered 23 here, since I have written here float, it will read it as 23.0 and 34.0. And here it will become 23.0 plus 34.0, that is equal to 57.0. Like this you will get. Then whatever the value that I have computed there, I have to display the result. Okay, display result ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ only if displaying is there, there is no need of input function. Input function is used only whenever you want to perform the both reading and writing, particularly writing. Okay, whenever I'm sorry, reading the values, just like scanf statement. Whenever you want to perform the operations of scanf and both scanf and printf, then you can use input function. Here, otherwise, only if you want to display the things, then you have to use only printf statement. Print use ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ there are different variations of print statement. I have used one variation like print with f format string ಅಂತೀವಿ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ. ಓಕೆ, ನೀವು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟೇಜ್ ಡಿ ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟೇಜ್ ಸಿ ಅಂತ ಎಲ್ಲ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ನಲ್ಲಿ. Here, instead of that, if I don't want to use that type of specification, I will just use f here. Print ಒಳಗಡೆ ಬ್ರಾಕೆಟ್ ನ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿ, you have to write a open bracket here, and then f you have to write and double quote this sum of curly number. Okay, curly braces here, curly num1 and curly num2 is colon curly sum of numbers. ಇದು ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ what after executing this, it will print like this: the sum, ಏನಿದೆ ದಿ ಸಮ್. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಫ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ, ಮತ್ತೆ ನೀವು ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸಿ ಎಫ್, ಬಟ್ ಯು ರೈಟ್ ಎಫ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್. ಎಫ್ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ದಿ ಫಾರ್ಮೆಟ್, ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೆಟ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಂಗ್. ನಮ್ ಒನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ದಿದೆ ಅದು ಬರೀಬೇಕು, ನಮ್ ಟೂ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟಿಂಗ್. ಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ದಟ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ respective conversion specifiers. Particularly ನಾವು ಸಿ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಲೈಕ್ ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟೇಜ್ ಡಿ ಅಥವಾ ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟೇಜ್ ಎಫ್ ಈ ತರ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ಲಿ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಫ್ಲೋಟಿಂಗ್. ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟೇಜ್ ಎಫ್ ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕಲಿ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾಪನ್. ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ರೈಟ್ ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟೇಜ್ ಎಫ್, ಓನ್ಲಿ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಯೂಸ್ ಎಫ್ ಇಯರ್. ಡಿ ಇದ್ರೂ ಎಫ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಎಸ್ ಇದ್ರೂ ಎಫ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಎಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಎಫ್ ಇದು. ಓಕೆ, ಓನ್ಲಿ ಎಫ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಯೂಸ್ ವಿದಿನ್ ದ ಡಬಲ್ ಕೋಟ್ಸ್. ದಿ ಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಕರ್ಲಿ ಬ್ರೇಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಏನಿದೆ, first curly bracket, set of curly brackets, num1 is there. Okay, num1 is there. What is num1? Num1 is 23.0. That is sum of the sum of another message adu. Okay, adu ಹೆಂಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಹಾಗೆ ಬರೆಯುತ್ತದೆ. Okay, the sum of, I already written there, sum of in the print statement. Okay, only the values of num1 will be printed here. It will not print a curly brackets num1 ಅಂತ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. Then it will print the value of num1. Curly num1 means what? It is actually value of num1. What is the value of num1? 23.0. We'll write like this, and value of num2. Curly ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ. ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಆಫ್ ಆ ಕರ್ಲಿ ಬ್ರಾಕೆಟ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಏನ್ ಬರೆದಿದ್ದಲ್ಲ ಅದ್ರದ್ದು. Okay, whatever the variable name that you have used within that curly brackets, the value of that variable will be only, it will be printing. Okay, that is the value of num2 will get printed here. What is the value of num2? 34.0. Okay, that is, you can see that in inside the print I have used like sum of curly num1 and curly num2 is colon and curly sum of numbers. Wherever curly brackets are there, they are substituted with the respective value of that variable. Curly num1 means value of num1, curly num2 means value of num2, curly of sum of numbers means value of sum of numbers is colon. Colon ಏನು represent ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, as it is it will print only curly variable name. Adru ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ it will replaces with the respective values. It will become like this 57.0. The sum of 23.0 and 34.0 is 57.0. See, here we are following a syntax. Okay, I'm just telling about the what is the meaning of syntax. We have taken one simple Python program. Okay, there is a one like a predefined syntax here. In order to write a commands, first of all you have to use a hash symbol. After that you have to give one space and start to write the message that you want to describe. Then in the second sentences, I'm using a some specified function like input function for reading the values from the keyboard. Okay, reading the value from the keyboard. Okay, and it also works like a print and scanf statement. Okay, then num2 also same. We are you are reading the value of num2, and the specific syntax we are following. Yes, and what is syntax here? I used a like float within that small bracket. Input function I have used within that small brackets. Within the double quote, I have written a message I want to describe, and colon. Okay, and this actually represents a syntax. If I even I remove the double quote, it will show an error. Okay, colon ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ enter the first number colon. I will remove double quote, then it will show error. And if I remove one even small brackets like this, okay, if I remove small brackets, here pair of small brackets is a one bracket represent the bracket for the enter the first number message. Okay, if I remove that, it will become incomplete bracket, and there must be another bracket for float. I cannot write a join float and input. And that because why? Because it is a syntax, it is a grammar. While writing a this type of statement, first you have to write a type of the data that you want to read, and within you have to open a bracket, then input, and within the small bracket you have to write enter the first number, and you have to close the brackets for input function and float function also you have to one set of brackets, and input function one set of brackets. Even if you miss one set of bracket, it will show an error. And I have to use a assignment operator here. Whatever I enter on the keyboard, it has to be stored in the variable called num1 using equal. This you see here, if I don't use equal, it will show an error because there is no equal, because it is a syntax for writing a program. Okay, like this, this is one example. We will continue the syntax here. Now, first of all, comments. Comments means already we know that to describe the section of the code. Okay, it is not a code, it will not get executed. But if I want to describe the section of the code, I can use comments. Comments are written in a two ways in Python. One is using a hash symbol, like this is a single line comment. And suppose you want to write a multiple line comments, then you have to use like double quote. Three times you have to write either double quotes or single quotes also you can use. Okay, triple double quotes or triple single quotes you can use. This is a single line command. This is a multi-line command, and this is a syntax that we have to follow. Okay, this is a, like grammar. These are rules. Okay, whenever you are writing a commands, you have to use first hash, then followed by statement. And similarly, if you want two more lines, like if you want to write a commands in 4 lines or 5 lines or 3 lines, that is more than one line, then you have to use the second format. This is the second format. Okay, now we'll go to one small quiz. Which of the following is not a symbol used for comments? Okay, there are the different symbol I have given here. Once again, you note down this. Comments means it uses uh, to approach. For single line, we have to use only a hash symbol, and for multiple lines, you have to use. I'm keep on telling you. I have not written here. Triple single quote also you can use, and triple double quote also you can use. Which of the following is not symbol used for comments? Okay, I have given here like uh, one is
C.
hash. Answer is
C.
C. You can give an answer. One is you have to read the question here. Question is like which of the following is not a symbol? I'm not asking it is a symbol. Not a symbol used for comments. Okay, hash is used for single line comments. Then XYZ PP it is a two-line comments. Forward slash star 1 2 it is a C programming command that is not allowed in Python. Okay, and fourth one is a single line only. A and B, D are same, but A does not have a message. D has got message like 1 2 3, where it is describing some statements. Okay, that is which of the following is not symbol used for comments means the answer is C. Okay, almost all the students have answered correctly. That is because it is comes under C program. It is not a Python command. Now next one is indentation. Indentation is very very important here. ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಿ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಕರ್ಲಿ ಬ್ರೇಸಸ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಮೇನ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಕರ್ಲಿ ಬ್ರೇಸಸ್ಸು ಎಂಡಿಂಗು ಎಲ್ಲ ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಕೆಟ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತೀವಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆ ಬ್ರ್ಯಾಕೆಟ್ಸ್ ಬದಲು ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಸ್ಪೇಸಸ್ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ. That is called one tab or four spaces. Indentation is nothing but one tab or four spaces. Okay. Python uses indentation to define code blocks such as loops, okay, and conditionals. Indentation consistency is crucial for proper code execution. ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಏರುಪೇರು ಆದ್ರೂ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಶೋ ಅನ್ ಎರರ್. ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಟ್ಯಾಬ್ ಕೊಡಬಹುದು, ಎರಡು ಟ್ಯಾಬ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರೆ ಅಥವಾ ಟ್ಯಾಬೇ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ, ನೀವು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಹಂಗೆ ಬಿಡ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಲೈನ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಲೈನ್ ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಶೋ ಅನ್ ಎರರ್. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ದಿಸ್ ಎನ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಇಫ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇಫ್ ಬರೀಬೇಕು, ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ರೈಟ್ ಎ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್, ಗಿವ್ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್, ಒನ್ ಸ್ಪೇಸ್, then condition, at least one space after if, then condition, then colon, okay, then colon, okay, like this you can write, okay, indent if space condition colon. Okay, then next one is like indented code block. Okay, indented code block means after the first statement, after the if statement, when it goes to the second statement, it must have like four space here, four space or one tab, one tab or four space, even for statement one, statement two, one. Okay, like this is called indentation. Suppose to know that it has been ended or not, suppose I will write here like statement 3, statement 3 ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ you can see that within the if, okay, within the if statement 1, statement 2 comes, then statement 3 does not have any four space. It is exactly in line with the if. Okay, therefore statement 3 does not belongs to if. It is outside the if. Okay, this is called indentation. Indentation means actually it begins the block and end the block. Here there is indentation begins here. Here also there is an indentation. Okay, and here there is no indentation. It means it is the end of the block. Okay, if block will start from here, it also goes here and ends here. Okay, and we are not using any brackets here to represent the beginning or ending of any if condition or if block. Okay, one tab or four spaces you have to use for indentation. You have to remember one tab or four spaces. Okay, now we'll go to, okay, this very simple question. How many tab or spaces is equal to one indentation? You have to identify the
One tab
answer.
of four
How
spaces.
many one tab or
A, four spaces.
four spaces? Answer is A. Okay, okay, correct, exactly right. One tab or four spaces. Okay, this is a very simple indentation question. Now next we'll go for variables. Syntax related to variables. How to write a variables? Okay, variables means it is just like a name of the person, okay, and age of the person, like this. Okay, there may be n number of persons. Everybody will have age. Everybody will have name. Okay, like that, and that entity is represented by a like name called like age, name, is student, like this. Here age another one variable. Its value is not fixed. Why it is called variable? Because its value changes. Age of one person is different from the another person. Name also changes. Okay, name of one person is different from the another person. Is student, okay, whether he is student or not, its value may be either true or false. Some person may be student, or he may be a teacher, or he may be neither teacher or not student. In such cases, it may the value will become true or false. Therefore, since these have got multiple values, we call it as variables. Python is dynamically typed. Okay, there is no need to declare the variable just like in C program. If you, for example, in C program, in order to declare age, I cannot directly write age equal 25. Int I will write age, I will write, then I will write 25, like this. Okay, that is the syntax in C program. Here it is directly I will write age equal to 25. Since 25 is integer, automatically age becomes integer. This is the meaning of dynamic typing. Dynamic typing, automatically the type of the variable will be assigned explicitly in Python. Similarly, if you come to this second one, since Alice is string. Okay, Alice is string. That's why name becomes string. Similarly, here true means what? It is true is bool. We call it as a boolean data type. As a result, is there. This variable will become a boolean value. Always you have to remember that variable is written at the left side and value will be written in the right side, just like a mathematical function. Okay, now okay, that is about variable syntax. Okay, now print statement. Suppose I want to use a print statement, you have to just use like this. You have to use a keyword called like a print within the brackets, open bracket and close bracket, and within the double quote. Double quote is very mandatory here. Otherwise, it will show an error here. Suppose if I write a like I will write like print. I will write like hello world, it will show an error. Okay, it is not a value. Okay, it is not following the syntax of the print statement. For writing a print statement, you have to follow the syntax like you have to write first print and open bracket, then write double quote like this, some message. Okay, here I will write like different message like this. Okay, and close the message with double quote. Okay, like this. Okay, this is the syntax for print statement. You have to use as it is because it is a grammar of the Python. Then if you take list, list are ordered collections of items. List are ordered collections of items. Here I have taken very simple list. Whenever you are writing a list, you have to first write a variable name. Here I have taken my list equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 is there. Okay, it's very simple collection of ordered items. And why it is called order? Suppose I will take another example, say x is equal to some 10, 20, then a b c square bracket. Okay, then x of 0. If I take x of 0, what x of 0 is here 10. Similarly, x of 1 is equal to 20. Similarly, two x of 2 equal to a b a b c a b c. Okay, now you can observe that 10 is in the ordered position say 0, 20 is in the ordered position say 1, and ABC is in the ordered position say 2. That's why it is called like ordered collection of items. Okay, in Python, it will support even like negative indexing. This we call it as positive indexing, that is 0, 1, 2. Similarly, there is a negative indexing also is there. X of like -1. It starts from the last one. -1 is equal to -1 means here ABC. The last value is -1. Okay, similarly, x of -2, x of -2 equal to 20. Similarly, x of -3 equal to 10. Okay, that is in the reverse order. Whenever you are going in the forward order, you have to go from 0, 1, 2. 0, 1, 2, you have to uh, in that order you have to go, or otherwise in the reverse order you have to go always. from -1. That means in the forward direction, you will start with 0, 1, 2, 3, based on the size of the list. Then in the reverse order, you have to start from -1, -2, -3, so on. -1 represent the last element, 0 represent the first element. We call it as forward indexing and reverse indexing. In order to access the element, we have to use the index number only. Okay, x of 0. Here, for example, in this case, list of my list of -1, my list of -1 is equal to like my list of 0, 1, 2, 3 equal to same. My list of -1 is equal to, that is in the negative indexing, that is equal to 4. The last value we can yeah, access the last value using either -1 index or 3 index. Both are same. Okay, these are called, that's why it is called ordered collection of items. Ordered collections of items. Now we'll go for dictionaries. This is another data types we have got. It has got its own syntax, like dictionaries. It will, for example, this is one dictionary we have taken. My dictionary is equal to name. Name is Alice. Age is 25. I will take another one dictionary, say student dictionary. Student dictionary has got, like, I will take name. First one is name colon. I will assume that he is a student name is Rahul. Then I will take once again the same age also. I can take age is colon say 22. Then course course I will say I will take B. Then okay, this is also string. Okay, string. Therefore, value is also string here. Okay. Similarly, roll number, here we call it as USN, okay, university serial number, colon. I will take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, like this. Sem, then I will take comma. Every time you have to use comma. Then sem is like, I will write 5. Semester is fifth sem, is studying in fifth sem. Fifth sem, and close the curly brackets. Okay, this is the syntax that we have to follow to create any dictionaries. Then while it is an unordered, there is no particular order here because we are not using a 0, 1, 2, 3 like this. In order to access the elements, we have to make use of the uh, like key values. So here, what are keys here? Keys, if you take in this example, keys are like name. Name is a key, age is a key, course is a key, then USN is a key, SEM is a key. Similarly, values. What are the values? Values are like, say, Rahul. Rahul is one value, 22 is another value, BE is another value, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is another value, 5 is another value. Okay, now in order to access the, for example, I want to know the age of the student, then you have to write like this, student, name of the dictionary you have to write, then the key value you have to write like age, student age, we represent like 22. It will give a value, say 22. Similarly, I want to name, know the student semester, student, then you can write student sem. Okay, same is say 5. Okay, this is like key and values. Okay, these are the key and value pairs of the students. Okay, key and value pairs of the student. Now we'll go to one another question like this. Question is simple, straightforward questions. The keys in the dictionary is student. Student name is Raju. USN is 123. What is the answer? Once again, keys in the dictionary student equal to name colon Raju, USN is 123. Okay, what is the answer for this?
A.
Uh, Answer is what?
Name.
A.
A, A, okay, A. Key means only the first part, not the second part.
Yeah.
First part of the two entities here, one is name and another one is USN. Okay, the first answer is A. Keys. Values means it will become like a Raju and 123. Okay, now we'll go to the next one. Say, tuples are what are tuples? Tuples are ordered and immutable sequences. Okay, ordered. They are also ordered. And difference between tuples are and very simple example I will give. I will take here. The first basic difference is tuples uses small brackets. Tuples uses small brackets. And second, I have told here, here it is ordered. Ordered means it has got index number also. Okay, instead of my tuple, I will take very simple like T. I will take T. And then for ordered means it has got index number, just like a list. While accessing the element, you have to use index number only. Like T of 0. Square bracket you have to use, not small bracket. Only at the time of creating a tuple, you have to use like small brackets. Left parenthesis, left parenthesis 1 comma 2 comma 3, right parenthesis like this. But while accessing the values T of 0 equal to like what is the T of 0? It will print. While printing, you have to use always like print only. Okay, you have to print, then T of 0. Once you print, use the statement like this, it will use, it will print like T of 0 means 1. Okay, it also, you also, here also it can makes negative indexing and forward indexing and negative indexing, just like in the case of tuples. But what is the difference here? Suppose I will take a list here, capital L, I will take L equal to 1 comma 2 comma 3. Both tuple and list, now they have got same values here inside the brackets. Now you suppose I want to change the value of like tuple T of like T of 2. I will write T of 2 is 3 here, 0 1 2. T of 2 equal to actually 3 it is. Okay, now I want to change that value to 30. It is a tuple. If you do that, it will show error. Okay, it will show error. It's called immutable. Tuples are immutable. Once you create here, if you want to change here, you must go here only and change the value, not here. Okay. Then if you do this, it will show an error. But in case of like a list, I will show the list of like 2. List of 2 equal to, I will make 30, and it will not show any error. And if you print like print L. L is the name of the tuple. You have to print, you can print the entire tuple here, and list also using print statement. Print list. List here, it will print say 1 to 30. Okay, now 30 has been changed now. That's why it is called mutable. Okay, list is mutable. List is mutable means it is changeable. The values are changeable. Tuples are immutable. Tuples are immutable. Okay, this is the basic difference. Tuples are ordered and immutable sequences, but lists are not immutable. They are mutable. Lists are ordered and mutable. Tuples are ordered and immutable sequence. Okay, now this is the, I think you got an idea about what is the difference between tuples and list. Both are like a collection of items only. Tuples uses small brackets and list uses square brackets. Okay, both are ordered. It ordered means they use index numbers to access the individual element. Once you define a tuple, after that you cannot reassign the tuples. Okay, you cannot delete. Even you cannot delete also. Okay, you cannot delete also, update or edit. No addition can be done for the tuples. But your list can be edited, deleted, updated, and do any type of editing. Okay, that is possible in list. That's why it is called mutable. That the property which allows the changes like updation, deletion, modification, we call it as mutability. If it is not allows that, we call immutable. Okay, therefore tuples is immutable. Okay, next one is okay. That is about some simple syntaxes about the like a list tuples. So from this, you have to remember that while writing a program, while writing any type of programs, okay, particularly in Python or C or C++, we have to follow the syntax. Okay, we have to follow the syntax of the programming. Okay, syntax is very essential. Okay, and that means how to know the syntax. Okay, how to know the syntax. We have to just follow the concepts of the programming languages. Okay, sometimes we will be knowing the syntax after writing a program. Okay, and sometimes you'll be given when you study tuples. When you're studying tuples parallelly, you have to understand how to create a tuple and what are the properties of the tuples. Okay, what are the rules that we have to use? Like you are using a square brackets or small brackets like this. Okay, comma we have to use after each and every element. This itself is called a syntax of program. Now we'll take another programming example. Okay, this is a very simple programming. Already you know that, but like finding the principal amounts. I want to find the principal amount. Everybody know the formula, like what is the value of the simple interest. Like you will be given like principal amount, uh, interest rate, and time. Okay, these are familiar problem in the school days, like how to compute the simple interest. Okay, it's not the computing a principal amount. It is a formula for computing a simple interest. There is a formula for computing a simple interest like principal into rate into time. PTR by 100. Okay, PTR by 100 or PRT by 100, whatever it may be. Okay, here first of all, in order to compute the simple interest. Okay, first of all, you have to read the principal amount. Here we have taken the principal amount as a floating point number. Okay, floating point number. Enter the principal amount. Say I will enter the amount, say 10,000, or simply I will enter 1,000 rupees. Okay, and it will take, even though if I enter 1,000, it will take as a 1,000.000 something. Okay, then enter the interest rate. I will enter the interest rate 2 percentage per annum, and it will become like 2.0. And the next one is like enter the time. Time is like I will take 3 years. It will take it as a 3.0. Time maybe 3 years, 3.5 years, 3.2 years also. I have taken simple value. And finally, all after reading the values, like principal value is now 1,000.0, rate is like 2.0, time is like 3.0. Then I will compute the simple interest using this formula. Formula is like 1,000 star. Star means multiplication symbol. Rate is like 2.0 star. Then year is 3.0. Okay, then next one is like I'll take brackets. Brackets will be taken, and division will be done by 100. To do that, you will get like 1,000 into 2 into 6, 6,000 divided by like 6,000 divided by 100. That is equal to how much? 6000 divided by 100 is how much? It will be approximately equal to 60.0000. Okay. Usually you'll get some six zeros, so I will just round off it on to only. Okay, 60,000 into 6 is 6,000 divided by 100 is 60 rupees per annum is an interest. Then it will print here like this: the simple interest colon 60.0. Okay, like this you will get an answer. Okay, now this is a sample program. We will take another sample program like this. You have to practice some of the programs regularly. After practicing, you will become a expertise in solving some problems. Now we'll go to next one. Here it is very simple. Once again, to find the uh, like area of the rectangle. Area of the rectangle. Okay, how to find the area of the rectangle? Okay, rectangle means what? It has got like a length and width, length into height or somewhat. Okay, if you take vertical values and horizontal line. Okay, horizontally how much width is there, and vertically how much difference is there between the two parallel lines. That is called length and width. Length into height also you can take, or length into breadth also you can take. Okay, you will take, say, length. First you will take some values. Okay, enter the length. I will assume that length means height. Okay, just like height of the rectangle, you'll assume that length means here height. Height is, I will take, say, 20 centimeter. Enter the length of the rectangle, enter the width of the rectangle. I will take, say, width is always lesser than the length. Okay, I will take 10. Okay, length is okay, height you can take even 100 also. It depends. We can have like vertical rectangle also, horizontal rectangle also. Does not matter. One must be greater than the other here. Okay, either length must be greater than width, or width must be greater than length. Then area is very simple: 20 into 100. 20 into 100. Here also it is like a 20.0 only. It is since it is a float. If you want a integer, I will take it as an integer only here. Instead of float, I will go for int. I will go for int. Okay. Then 20. I will can write 20 only here now. Okay, 20. Then after multi, it will become like this: area equal to 20 into 100, and display the area. Okay, display the result. The result will be printed like this: the area of the rectangle with length, with length is equal to how much here? With length 20, and width 100 is colon area 20 into 100 is how much? 2000 square centimeter. It will print like this. This is another example. Okay, and we'll go to the another example, like I want to find the area of the circle. Area of the circle. Here, one thing is there is a libraries like mathematical libraries. Okay, whenever you want to import the libraries you want to use, then you have to use a keyword called import. Import math. Okay, import math means I am using some mathematical related functions. Okay, like there are different types of mathematical related functions, like absolute value is there, square is there. Okay, then square root sqrt is there. Okay, like this we will have, and a pi value is there. Okay, some like this, so many function: tan, cos, logarithm function, okay, exponential function. Okay, like this, so many values will be type of functions will be available in the mathematics. Even integral function, differentiation function, all those will be available. Here we are just using a math.py. Whenever you are using a constant values, you have to use a math keyword. Okay, here math is there. You have to use math keyword. Okay, this is the math.py. Okay, math.py. Don't just write py. You'll get an error. Your main library name must be written math.square root, math.absolute, math.py. Okay, like that. Math.py into radius. Radius means here we have read the radius. I will take the radius C 10.0 it will be. Then calculate the area. Area equal to what is the value of a mat dot pi, some value will be there like pi value 22 by 22 by 7 star pi value is given 22 by 7 10.0 into radius square pi r square, the area of the circle is pi r square. Since the radius is 10.0, r square you have to 10.0 like this. This can also be written like this: area equal to, there is a one function called power function is there. Okay, like mat dot power of, here pi you have tried first initially mat dot pi star into mat dot power of radius as usual, radius comma 2 comma 2. Okay, pi into r square. Okay, r square you can written write like this, but this is the most easiest way as compared to the second one. So therefore we can go for the first one, but this is another one option itself. Okay, you can just remove that. Okay, area equal to mat dot pi into radius square. Okay, now after computing that you will get some value. Okay, 100 into it is somewhat like 3.1333 somewhat you will get into 100.00, then area of the circle. Then finally you will get the output like this: the area of the circle with radius, within the bracket radius is the radius we have taken 10.0 is colon. So some value it will, you will get like 313.333, like this you will get some approximate value I've written. Okay, this is how we can write a program. Okay, this is a sample Python program 4. Okay, next we'll go to the another program. Okay, you can see that what is the intention of this program. Can anybody tell what is the intention of this program in chat box? What is the use of this program? In a single word, you can tell what is the use of this program.
Swapping.
Swapping the two numbers. Okay. Okay, so very simple. I want to exchange the two values. So for example, num1 is there. It is asking, it is a purely an integer number. Enter the first number. I will enter the first number, say 3. Okay, and num2 equal to int of input. Enter the second integer is asking. I will enter the second integer, say 5. And it will print here. After executing this statement, you will get like original values like 3 num1 equal to num1 equal to 3 comma num2 equal to 5. Okay, this is the things. Then I will take this is the original values. Now I want to make num1 as 5 and num2 as 3. I've taken another variable called temp here. Temp equal to num1. That means it will make temp like temp now becomes num1 means 3. It is 3 now. Now num1 will becomes num1 takes the new value and it becomes num2. Num2 is what? 5. Then here num2 becomes num2. Num2 actually it becomes temp. Temp means what? 5. I'm sorry, 3. 3 it becomes. Now after this it will start to print. Okay, now after this, it will if you print that, it will get a different values for num1. Okay, swapped values like swapped values is say num1 equal to num1 has already changed. It has become now 5. Okay, and num2 has become like 3. Okay, this is how to swap the two values. Okay, this is about different types of the syntax as per the syllabus today. We'll take another simple program like a sample program. Okay, like to find the to find whether the given number whether the given number is given number is even or odd. Okay, first of all, we will go for see here. You have to remember that. Okay, here the question is very simple. It is asking that write a program to find whether the given number is even or not. Given number means you have to ask the number. Okay, or write a program to accept the number from the keyboard. We will take some number, say n. I will assume that n equal to. Since it is an I can even number, it is a natural number. Okay, natural number is an integer number. Therefore, we will take int of input, right? Input, then enter enter a number. We'll ask the user to enter a number and close, then enter. You will enter some number. Okay, then we have to use if conditions. If give space like this n. Even number means what? It is divisible by 2. Okay, if n modulus 2, n modulus 2 double equal to 0, you have to write and write colon. This is very important here. You can see that n modulus 2 double equal to 0. For example, I will n is 2. N is 2, then 2 modulus 2. Modulus 2 means what? The remainder. When you divide 2 by 2, the remainder is 0. Remainder equal to 0. Similarly, when you divide 4 by 2, remainder is 0. Similarly, if you divide 3 modulus 2, 3 modulus 3 modulus 2, it will become 1. I'll take 5 modulus 2. The remainder is 1. Whenever you take a like a odd number, it will become the remainder becomes 1. Whenever you take an even number, the remainder will becomes 0. Okay, if n modulus 2 equal to 0. Okay, then I will erase this. What it is telling, you have to detect whether the given number is even or not. Or then you have to print. Okay, like print f then double quote, the number capital N is even number, even number. Else, there is a else block is there. You have to use else. You can observe that after writing, going to the next line, I'm giving a four space here. This is a four space or one tab. After that, since this is the end of the if statement, then it will go to the next else block. There is no space here. Okay, then else colon you have to write. Once again, sorry, here also like this one tab or four space. Then you will take print f the number, the number capital N is odd number, odd number. Okay, now you can see that when you run this program, first it will ask enter a number like this, enter a number. I will enter a number, say 21. Then it will print the number 21 is odd, odd number, odd number, like this it will print. Okay, this is a very simple program to find whether like this you can go on solving a program. Okay, and every time you have to remember that you have to follow the syntax. What is the syntax that we have followed in this program? In order to read a number, we have used a function called input. Okay, then we have used like a if condition statement, and while writing if condition statement, I will return if given a space, there is a space is there, then condition n modulus 2 double equal to 0. Then we have used print statement. While writing a print statement, we have used a syntax, say 4 space or 1 tab. Okay, then I've written print, and within the print I've used f format string. The number n is even number. Similarly, else colon print within the bracket f, the number n is odd number. While writing a else also I've given colon is important after the else block, as well after the else statement and if statement. The colon is very important. Colon here also colon is very important. Okay, then enter a number, say 21. The number 21 is odd number, like this we will get. Okay, like this we can use a write a program for different problems. Okay, I think if any doubts is there, you can ask the doubts in the chat box if you got any doubts. Uh, okay, if you want to solve any program, you can start also if it is within the syllabus. The more complex program also you can solve using a different other construct. I think that is will be a different part of the syllabus. Like there is looping statement is there, for loop is there, while loop is there. Okay, similarly like you can have like if and else, nested if and else is there. Okay, and elif is there. Okay, and there is no do while loop is there. In C program there is a do while. Here we don't have any do while, only if statement is if else, elif is there. Okay, there is a, we call it as elif. It is written like this instead of elif. Elif you can use, that you will study in the next class. Elif, if statement, if else. Okay, like this in looping state. Even yes, for loop will be there. Then while loop is there. In addition to this, you can use break statement like jump, continue. Also, you can use. Okay, these are the some of the statements that you can use along with the like for loop also and while loop also. Okay, and there is no do while loop. Do while loop is not supported. Do while is not supported in Python. Supported in Python. Okay, and also you'll be studying in details like other content like functions. Okay, a list I've just introduced here. List you will study in detail. List, tuples, dictionaries, sets. I like this. Okay, these are some of the basic concept that you have to remember. Okay, I will just okay. That is about for same program. Okay, here to find whether the given number is even or odd. We can use even functions here. While writing a functions, you have to just specify a function name like def. There is a one keyword called def. Give a space. Then check. I will just give the name of the function. Say even odd, and you have to pass a number here. Then colon. Within this, you have to. There is no need of this. If n modulus 2 equal to 0, printf the number is even number, or else you have to print the number as odd, that it will print like this. Okay, this is written inside the function. Okay, there is no need of curly braces just like in C, but you have to call after defining the function. You have to ask the user, say once again you have to write here n equal to int of int of input, enter a number, enter a number. Okay, you will enter some number, then you have to check whether, then you just call this function that we have defined here, check even check even odd of n. Same program I have written in a different manner. Okay, like check even odd. In you see, first you will enter a number, say 10. I will enter some number, say 10. Okay, n becomes 10, and here it will call like this. Okay, it will call check even odd 10. Then 10 will come here, n becomes 10. Then here n becomes 10. It will not go to the else block here, it becomes 0 here. 10 modulus 2 equal to 0. Therefore, it will print this itself. It will print the value, say the number. The number 10 is even number. Like this, it will print. Okay, and okay, there are so many other topics also. Python is like a vast subject. Okay, fundamentals of what you see, whenever we say that fundamentals of Python, what are the aspects that you have to learn? Okay, I'll just give a brief introduction of this. Python basics. Python basics means you have to start to learn how to write what, like understand what is data types. Okay, in data types, I already told numbers, list. Okay, all those things. Then you have to study like flow control. Flow control In the flow control, you will have like a conditional control statements. Okay, like if condition, if and else, elif. This you have to learn how to use. And here you have got like after conditional control, looping control statements. Looping control or just looping statement. You can call it as looping statements. Here you have got like for loop, while loop. Okay, then there is a one important function called range function also you have to use. Okay, range function. Then break, continue, break and continue. Okay, these are actually and even keywords will be there. I think data types, so variables and keywords. Keyword. There is a rules for variables also, and you have to learn like operators and operations that you have to. There is a like. Can anybody tell me? Well, I will write a variable name here. There is a rules for variables. Okay, rules for variables. What are those rules for variables? Means every variable must start with like alphabets or like it has to start with alphabets or underscore, and it must not start with number. It must not start with number or any special symbol. Like this, some of the rules are there that we will study. For example, I will give two values here, 1 to x, y, z. This is one variable I will call. Another one like a simple interest, si. Okay, then I will write a same simple interest as 2, 3, si underscore si. Here, can you tell me which one is which of the following is valid and invalid variables? What are which are valid variables, valid or invalid variables? I will give a number also for this so that you can answer directly there with the numbers. Okay, valid or invalid. Which one is valid here and which one is invalid variable names? You can just specify in the chat box. Which one is valid here? You can just give the answer number here. Like 1, 2, 3, 4 is given. Out of one, you just answer valid. Which one is valid? Which are all valid. Remaining automatically it is an invalid. One is valid wrong. It is invalid because it is starting with number. Any variable should not start with numbers. Okay. Second is yes, it is valid. Okay, and the third is not a valid because it starts with number. Fourth is valid because any variable can start with alphabet or underscore. Underscore is allowed here. Okay, therefore the answer is 2 and 4. Answer is 2 and 4. Okay, fine. We will wind up the session here itself. The next part of the Python will be handled by the Madam Sucheta Madam tomorrow. She will continue the remaining section. All the best and do well in the DCT examinations. Get good score. All the best for all of you. Okay. Thank you all.
Thank you.